You are a junior associate. Chicago, 11 p.m. The email notification chimes, a soft, familiar sound in the empty office. The sender is Julian Croft. The timestamp is 1 minute ago. Your screen freezes your hand, the cursor hovering over the final document that will close his estate forever. Julian Croft died of pancreatic cancer 6 months ago. Here is how you got here. You practice estate law. You are 28 years old, 3 years out of Northwestern, and you carry $180,000 of student debt. Your father owned a hardware store in Joliet until the big box stores bled him dry. Now he stocks shelves at one of them. Your mother is a teaching assistant. They took out a second mortgage for your tuition. You see the cost of your ambition in the lines around their eyes. This firm hired you because you were hungry. You work weekends. You are the first one in, the last one to leave. You live in a studio apartment the size of a shipping container and eat ramen noodles that taste like salt and failure. But you are good at your job. You are meticulous. You are precise. The Julian Croft case was your first major file. A solo assignment. A test. Croft was old money, a real estate investor with a portfolio that spanned 3 states. He was also eccentric, intensely private, and dying. He had no wife, no children, only a handful of distant cousins he despised. You met with him a dozen times in his Gold Coast brownstone. The place smelled of old paper, lemon polish, and decay. He sat in a high-backed leather chair, a tartan blanket over his thin legs, and drilled you on probate law. He tested your knowledge of tax shelters, of trust formation, of the precise language required to disinherit with prejudice. He was sharp, unforgiving, and in the end, impressed. He trusted you. You drafted the will. It was a fortress. Ironclad and immaculate. His brownstone to a historical preservation society. His stock portfolio to a cancer research foundation. His art collection to the Art Institute. The cousins received $1 each, a final deliberate insult. You were named executor. A complex job, but the fee would erase 1/3 of your student loans in one stroke. His death was peaceful. The funeral was small. You managed the estate exactly as he instructed. You liquidated assets, settled debts, filed the appropriate tax forms. You dealt with the screaming, threatening phone calls from the cousins. You did your job. 6 months of work. 6 months of court filings and asset management and meticulous accounting. It is all done. Tonight you are closing the file. The office is a canyon of empty cubicles. The only sound is the hum of the HVAC system and the clicking of your keyboard. You have drafted the final letter to the beneficiaries, a simple notification that the estate is settled and all accounts are closed. You attach the final accounting as a PDF. You move the cursor to the Croft, Julian folder on your desktop, ready to drag it into the closed case's archive. That is when the chime sounds. A notification banner slides into the top right corner of your screen. One new email. From Julian Croft. .ea. Subject: Addendum to final instructions. You stare at the name. It has to be a joke. A tasteless prank from one of the cousins. Or a virus, a phishing scam. You know his email account was terminated a week after his death. You have the confirmation from the service provider in the file. You click. The email is formatted like all his others. No greeting. No preamble. Just a series of numbered instructions. 1. Botany 1. Cease all communication with the beneficiaries listed in my last will and testament dated October 14. 2. Liquidate Sec 1458. You know the one. The first editions. 3. Convert proceeds to unmarked non-sequential $100 bills. 4. Await instructions for delivery. Your breath catches. Sec 1458. It was a safe deposit box. Croft had mentioned it once, a collection of rare books he kept off the estate's official ledger for tax purposes. A little something for a rainy day, he had called it, with a dry smile. You had advised him to declare it. He had refused. You made a note of it in your private file, then officially forgot it, as he had implicitly requested. No one else knew. This is not a prank. You check the email's metadata. The header is a mess of corrupted code, routing through proxy servers that seem to loop back on themselves. The origination IP traces to a decommissioned university server in Belgium. It is a digital ghost. Impossible to trace. Impossible to exist. You close the laptop. You walk to the window and look down 30 floors to the river. The tour boats are lit up, crawling over the black water. For a moment, you consider calling the firm's senior partner. Or the police. What would you tell them? A dead man is emailing you instructions to commit what is likely a federal crime. They would think you were having a breakdown. You would be fired. Disbarred. The debt would crush you. Your parents' house would be gone. You are standing on a ledge you did not even know was there. You go back to your desk. You sit for a long time. Then you write a reply. Who is this? The response is instantaneous. You know who this is. See attachment. The attachment is a single JPEG file. It is a photo of your parents, taken that afternoon. They are walking their dog in the park near their house in Joliet. The photo is high resolution, taken from a distance with a telephoto lens. Your mother is laughing at something your father said. They look happy. They look vulnerable. You feel the air leave your lungs. Your hands are cold. You type. What do you want? The reply. Compliance. The next morning you call the bank. You use the executor paperwork to access safe deposit box 1458. The key, which Croft gave you as a souvenir, feels heavy in your pocket. The bank manager is deferential. He doesn't ask questions. Inside the box are 12 books. First editions. Hemingway, Faulkner, Fitzgerald. You recognize a signed copy of I, the Great Gatsby. You know vaguely that it is worth a fortune. You take them in a leather satchel. You do not go back to the office. You find a rare book dealer through a discreet online forum. A man who does not ask for provenance. He meets you in the back room of an antique shop in Old Town. He inspects the books with a jeweler's loupe, his breathing loud and wet. He does not haggle. He offers you a number that makes your head swim. $2.1 million. Cash. The next email from Croft arrives that night. An address. A time. A set of GPS coordinates pointing to a service tunnel under the loop. Leave the satchel inside the third maintenance locker. Do not wait. The tunnel smells of stagnant water and ozone. Your footsteps echo. Every shadow looks like a man. You find the locker. It is unlocked. You place the satchel inside, close the door, and walk away without looking back. You feel like you are leaving your own body behind. You have crossed a line. You are no longer an officer of the court. You are an accessory. A criminal. But your parents are safe. The debt is manageable. You tell yourself this is a one-time thing. An aberration. You will close the loop, destroy the records, and forget this ever happened. A week passes in silence. You go to work. You pretend to finalize the Croft estate. You lie to the senior partners. You lie to yourself. You check your email 100 times a day. Nothing. A sliver of hope begins to grow. Maybe it is over. Then the next email arrives. Subject: real estate transfer. The instructions are more complex this time. You are to use your authority as executor to transfer the title of Croft's brownstone, not to the Historical Society, but to a shell corporation registered in the Cayman Islands. The email includes all the necessary doctored paperwork, the forged signatures from the Society's board, the backdated transfer deeds. It is a perfect, untraceable crime. The penalty for non-compliance has been escalated, the email concludes. Attached is a live feed from a security camera. It is pointed at the front door of your apartment. The timestamp in the corner is current. Someone is watching you. Right now. You complete the transfer. It takes 3 days of falsified documents and perjured phone calls. With every signature, you feel a piece of your future flaking away. You are a lawyer, methodically dismantling your own life, brick by brick. The emails become a routine. Every few weeks, a new task. Each one drags you deeper. You are instructed to close a series of offshore accounts and wire the money to untraceable crypto wallets. You are ordered to retrieve a box of old reel-to-reel tapes from a storage unit in Gary, Indiana, and destroy them in an industrial incinerator. You are sent to a cemetery at midnight to leave a single withered rose on the grave of a woman who died in 1978. You learn things about Julian Croft. Things not in any official record. He was not just a real estate investor. He was connected. He was involved in things you can only guess at from the wreckage you are now tasked with sanitizing. You are not settling an estate. You are erasing a man. A very dangerous man. You stop sleeping. You lose weight. At the office, your colleagues praise your work ethic. They see the dark circles under your eyes and assume it is ambition. They have no idea you are being haunted not by a ghost, but by an inbox. The final email arrives on the 1-year anniversary of his death. Subject: Final arrangements. It is the longest email yet. It details the creation of a new legal entity, the Croft Endowment, a charitable trust with a vague and impenetrable mission statement. It then instructs you to draft a new last will and testament for Julian Croft. This new will is to supersede the old one. It disinherits everyone: the Historical Society, the Cancer Foundation, the Art Institute. Every penny of Croft's remaining fortune, a sum that still runs into 9 figures, is to be placed in the Croft Endowment. The will is attached. It is a masterwork of legal deception. It is backdated. It is flawless. It includes a notarized signature page that looks utterly authentic. But it is the final clause that stops your heart. The endowment is to be managed by a single permanent trustee. That trustee will be granted an annual salary of $2 million, drawn from the endowment's interest. The trustee is you. The email's final line reads, "Your duties as trustee will be to continue executing my instructions in perpetuity." This is not a request. It is your new reality. Sign the documents. Your life depends on it. Attached is another file. A video. It shows your father getting into his car after his shift at the big box store. A second car, a dark sedan, pulls up behind him, blocking him in. The video cuts out. You sit in the dark of your expensive new office, in the skyscraper where you are now a partner. The promotion came 3 months ago, after you discovered the new will and heroically fought to have it validated in probate court. The disinherited charities tried to fight, but the paperwork you filed was too perfect. You won. You are rich now. Your student debt is gone. Your parents are retired, living in a house you bought for them in Florida. They think you are a genius, a success story. They are so proud. You are also a prisoner. Your job is to manage the endowment, which means your job is to wait for the emails and do exactly what they say. You move money. You acquire properties. You silence threats. You are the legal arm of a dead man's empire. You look at your screen. An unread email sits in your inbox. It has been there for an hour. From juliancroft.me. Subject: Task hash 47. You know that opening it will mean another crime. Another piece of yourself chipped away. You know that not opening it